So I've invited one of our graduates, Sandra, to join us today, and she's going to share a little bit about her experience, what it was like to learn AMR, how it's changed her life, how it's changed how she works with clients, but some of the things that surprised her the most about it. So we're going to go ahead now and bring her on. So Sandra, before you joined this training, what was the biggest challenge you were facing in your day-to-day life? And what did that actually look like in your day-to-day life?
Um, what happened with me? I was at one of my lowest points, I gotta say, in my life. In that time frame, I was a full-time caregiver for my elderly mom who lived in an in-law suite in our house. And she developed dementia more and more and became more incapacitated as time went on. In the meantime, I had an online jewelry business, which I would work on in my quarters, but I was always in earshot of hers. And so as time went by, she would just call me more often and more often. She became very anxious. So basically, she had me going to check on her every 15 to 20 minutes. And in the nighttime, I wouldn't be able to sleep properly because I could hear when she would get up, and I was worried that she would fall and whatnot. So I just became more and more stressed out, and actually to the point where I didn't realize I was so stressed. It
Right,
was just a
right.
normal state of being. And emotionally, I was very frustrated and I felt really stuck because I couldn't see how this was going to proceed or end. Our social life was non-existent because she could not be left alone. She was very anxious, and it was really hard to find people to look after her on the weekend. So yeah, it was just like a, a life with a lot of walls, and I couldn't see
Mm,
through it. And so I just kind of, on my short walks with my dogs, I kind of thought I'd just like to disappear in a way out of this life. And my body listened, and I lost 25 pounds over the course of a year, and
mhm,
was really a shadow of myself.
right,
And then Patty introduced me to AMR.
right. Yeah, so, um, what would you say was the most surprising thing you learned about how those kind of emotional patterns really change once you started studying this modality?
It was not something I expected at all. Of course, when you start a course, you learn all the tools. And of course, we started applying the tools to ourselves. And uh, the most significant thing that happened, I started healing. I started gaining weight. I noticed that my state of mind became calmer, and I became more resilient
Mm,
because I was given actual tools that I could apply to when I noticed, oh, I'm
mhm,
slipping out of my good nervous system state into the stressed out mode. And I
right,
was able to change it myself.
nice.
Yeah.
So, was there a moment, Sandra, where it sort of clicked for you and you had the thought like, "Okay, wow, this is actually completely different from any sort of mindset work or traditional coaching methods that you had tried in the past?" Was there a
I
moment where you
think,
kinda went, "Wow, this is different?"
yes, because I felt empowered, and I was given tools so I could change my own state. I wasn't just labeled a victim. You're the victim of your circumstance. And,
Mm,
so it is a little bit different from the traditional therapies styles where you acknowledge as, yes, that happened to you. And then you have to talk about it a lot. And, you know, so
yeah,
here it's, of course, we do have to go there to activate um, the neurology so we can change it, but it's not
mhm,
like we have to jump into the deep end of the pool and swim in there forever.
right. Yeah, we just go there as long as we need
Yeah.
to update it.
Yeah.
So, can you share a moment with us where you watched a client's pattern change quickly in real
Mhm.
time?
Sure. So a client of mine wanted to heal her relationship with her son. She was estranged from him a few years back. He just told her he wanted to, he needed some space. And she was very angry and very upset about this. And she really wanted to find the source of this. And session three, she told me a story about where her parents were really invasive into her own private life. And she said it in the same words as she described her son. I needed space. I needed to just distance myself from them. And then she said, oh, like you could
Mhm,
see it click. And it was amazing. She realized I'm doing the same to him than my parents did to me. And that was the big revelation to her. And it took her a couple of days to process this, but she did contact her son and apologize to him and explain to him why she had acted that way, because now she realized where it came from, that this
mhm.
was a pattern from her past.
Yep.
And they shed a few tears, and there was a lot of healing going on. And he said he had waited all this time for her to tell him this.
Wow.
So it was just absolutely beautiful.
So, what was that like for you as the practitioner that was able to facilitate that change for her?
It's just the most amazing feeling. It's the most fulfilling thing that you could possibly do for somebody. And actually, she did it herself. I just asked the questions.
Yeah, you were the mirror, helped her find
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what shifted for you after witnessing that transformation for her?
Um, it's just like, I can't believe this is happening in a way, because
Right.
it's just amazing. No,
Yeah.
yeah, every time you check back with one of their memories that was so traumatic for them when you started the session, and then they say, "Oh, there's not much there," you go,
Yeah.
"I
It's
can't
not a big
believe
deal.
this is working. It's amazing."
Yeah, it's just something that happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so how did you shared a little bit with us how it changed your experience in the beginning where your mom was, you were sort of
Mhm,
up to your eyeballs and being a caretaker and
mhm.
your health improved. But how has it impacted your sort of other emotional patterns or your well-being in other ways?
I I got to say, I'm 56 years old and I feel better than I ever have felt in my life. I can't think back to another time in my life where I was this balanced, this happy, like genuinely happy. um Life can throw at me what it wants. Of course, you get upset, but you don't stay there. You know how to get out of it much quicker.
Right.
And I just feel like I'm way more balanced throughout my life, much happier, more focused, more resilient. I love that word, resilient.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, this is resilience boot camp is what this is. Yeah.
Yes.
So what would you say to someone, Sandra, who maybe feels called to help themselves, break some, self-defeating patterns and maybe help others transform, even
Mhm.
if they don't think maybe they don't feel like they know quite enough yet. Like, what would you say to them about this experience?
I would tell this person, when they go through the training, they will learn it hands on, and they will be able to learn it or embody it themselves, because they can work on themselves. And once they're gone through the training, they know exactly how it works. So
Mhm.
they will be ready to apply it to one of their clients.
Right. And do you feel pretty confident that you can handle pretty much anything that comes at you at this point?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes.
Awesome. So if you could describe AMR in one sentence to someone who's never heard of it, what would you say?
I would say applied memory reconsolidation. It helps you creating a life that you love
Mhm.
and letting go of old patterns that no longer serve you.
Wow, you did really well for being put on the spot.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you so much for sharing all that with us. I think what you just said
It was my
perfectly kind of
pleasure.
yeah, I think what you did
Thank
just to share with us kind of perfectly captures why we built this training. So women who feel called to do this work can actually learn the skills to help themselves first
you.
and then help others transform at the root, right? That's what we're going for here. So, if you're watching all this and you feel a little voice inside you saying, I want to know how to do that. Or even if, I don't know if I'm cut out to be a coach, but I want to be able to help people in my life like that, then, you're in the right place. This training is not just for established coaches, it's also for women who feel called to do deep work with their clients and for themselves, even if they're just starting to step into that identity. You don't need a big platform. You don't need all kinds of experience. You don't need to have it all figured out. We have a beautiful community that we've developed here of amazing women who gather on a regular basis and continue to learn and continue to grow and support one another. So, all you really need is a desire to help people transform at the root, including yourself. So, inside the training, we teach you how to use this modality in a grounded, ethical, science informed way. You build skill, you build confidence, and you experience profound personal transformation all at the same time. So, if you feel something lighting up inside of you, if you're curious or excited or even a little nervous, maybe consider that your intuition tapping you on the shoulder. All the details, the next steps are in our AMR Facebook group. So, have a look around in there. Take a look, trust what you feel. And if you're feeling called to want to know more, we would love to welcome you inside this beautiful community of women who are inspiring each other, lifting each other up, and making emotional intelligence a new trend. All right, a trend that actually matters. So, thank you so much for being here. Whether you're already a coach, whether you're an aspiring coach, or just a woman who simply wants to break old patterns and live more freely, this work matters. It has changed the way I support the people in my life, the way I support clients, but the important thing is that it also changed me first. It's the reason I no longer feel like I'm pushing and managing or battling my emotions. It's absolutely the reason I feel more grounded, more at ease, and more confident in my ability and in the way that I help other people. That's the beauty of it. It doesn't just train you to transform other people, it transforms you so deeply that helping others becomes an extension of who you are. So if that possibility excites you, if you feel something opening or awakening or whispering, maybe this is the thing, just know you're in the right place. The community here exists to support you, whether you're here to grow as a practitioner or simply to free yourself on the deepest level. We are here to cheer you on and support you every step of the way. Thank you for caring about transformation for yourself and for the people you're called to help. We cannot wait to see how this unfolds for you.